Happy Wednesday. Hope your day is going well. I have been getting a lot of questions over the last few weeks, and actually a client of mine asked me this morning about why I became plant-based. And so I figured I would just hop on here and film a quick little video on the 5 reasons why I became plant-based and kind of clear the air for everybody, okay? And I've been plant-based since last summer, actually. And there's, like I said, 5 reasons why I did this. So the first reason why I became plant-based was because last summer, I think it was like around June or so, I started having dreams. And I'm a big believer in dreams, especially if they're reoccurring, like there has to be some meaning behind these dreams. And I was having these dreams, bear with me here, about animals, right? And I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I really want to eat meat anymore. It just was kind of on my mind. I don't know. Strange. That's number 1. Number 2, I went to a nutrition and dietitian symposium in Marco Island in July for the Florida Academy of Nutrition and Dietitians organization. And in the 4-day convention, okay, a lot of the trainings were based on the benefits of, animal protein and dairy, and who actually sponsored the event was Florida Beef and Florida Dairy. So what I started to learn was that the food industry is oftentimes infiltrated by lobbying, right? And so we're told to eat these certain foods, they're health foods, right? And because there's a lot of money poured into these industries. And so to me, that was very disconcerting, especially since, nothing against dietitians or nutritionists, these are the people that are helping us with our health, and they're being told these things because it's these big agri companies that are forcing them to share that with their patients. And so that to me was very disenchanting, and for that reason I was kind of turned off by meat and dairy after that symposium, even though it was already kind of on my heart to slowly start to give it up. So that was reason number 2. So that was last July. And then come around August, I just started to really start eating meat less and less, like maybe, once a day. And then come September, my husband watched Game Changers, and he watched it with me for the second time. I had seen it. And he was like, let's become plant-based. And I was like, okay, well, if you're doing it, I'll go 100% since I was already pretty much there anyway. So it was something that we did together, and it was something that, I really enjoyed. But that was, kind of the icing on the cake. But ultimately, too, why I became plant-based, and this was something that was shown in that documentary, I'm sure some of you saw it, was the environmental impact of the meat industry, right, and the dairy industry. And so to me, animal feces being one of the biggest water polluters out there, all the resources that are, dumped into raising livestock, right, and just like the treatment of these animals and the processing of the meat, all these things I just really was turned off by. So for me, it was more about an environmental impact and why I became plant-based, right? But number 4 too, guys, why I became plant-based was because I have always been a veggie-aholic. Like I always say, guys, the more vegetables we can eat, the better. I mean, if you look at all the different diets out there, the one thing that all diets have in common is that vegetables are good, right? So we can all at least agree on that matter. So, I always knew that I wanted to focus on veggies anyway, so becoming plant-based was just another way for me to do that. And also, variety. Like, a lot of people, when they think about being plant-based, are like, oh, well, I can't eat anything, so it's not something I want to try. But actually, guys, it is easier now, more than ever in the history of being a vegan or vegetarian, whatever you want to call it. It's easier now more than ever to be vegetarian because there are so many options out there. Every week I'm still trying new things and sharing them with people. And so I love being plant-based because there are so many different things to try. And I think it's really important to understand that you don't have to just eat vegetables, right? I'm someone that loves my chocolate. I love ice cream. I love wine, of course. I drink wine, of course, it's plant-based, but I can still have chocolate that doesn't have dairy in it. I can still have ice cream that doesn't have dairy in it. And that leads me to my 5th reason of why I went plant-based. And it's because I realized that really dairy did not serve me. And that was like the first thing to go a year ago, was dairy. And I was somebody, guys, that I loved Greek yogurt. I ate Greek yogurt like every day. I loved cottage cheese. I was doing whey protein for a little while. And, I just learned that those things like did not serve my body, you know, and I would get so bloated. I didn't feel good after I ate it. I actually gave up dairy for about a month. This was a couple years ago. And then I ended up having some Greek yogurt because I missed it. And I was like, oh, I haven't had it. And I felt so bloated after. And it was at that point where I was like, it's not worth it, you know, and people are like, well, everyone has that mindset where they think, well, I've been eating it for so long that I can't imagine my life without it. And here's the truth, guys, when you don't eat it for a long time, then you'll figure out what there are other things you can eat, right? That's a mindset, right? It's all in your head. So when we have those thoughts, it's very easy to overcome them by looking at all the different varieties out there. And like I said, guys, there are so many options nowadays in terms of being plant-based. It's easier now more than ever. So those are the 5 reasons, you know, why I became plant-based and the benefits of me becoming plant-based. Like my energy, you know, a lot of you that know me know that I'm like super high energy all the time. But I used to be somebody where around like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like my energy would dip. And I no longer have that problem. Like ever since I became plant-based last year, I don't have that issue at all anymore. Also, I noticed that my skin improved, and I got actually several comments on that. So, and I know a lot of people that do go plant-based, they notice that. A lot of people know that dairy is an inflammatory and it does cause some skin issues. And so that was something that really helps me. I have a lot less bloating as well, which was something that I really struggled with. So I definitely feel better about that. And I still have really awesome workouts. I get plenty of protein, you know, through my vegetables and my plant-based protein sources that I recommend. And I'm still able to, you know, maintain my weight. Some people, they gain weight when they go plant-based. It's because they're not doing it properly. And so I've never had that problem. I actually lost weight pretty easily when I first started without even trying. It wasn't even, you know, on my radar. And it was because I just really focused on better nutrition and I was eating really well and still eating my ice cream and my chocolate and all the foods that I love. Because like I said, if you go plant-based thinking I can only eat vegetables and eat super, super clean, you're going to get bored real quick, just like any other diet, and feel deprived, and then you're going to get off of it, right? So it's really important to keep that balance in your life and have that variety because then it's something that is sustainable long term and you're going to feel better, you're going to be benefiting the environment. And nowadays, guys, when finding, you know, meat and, you know, dairy, eggs in the grocery store is harder, tons of produce out there, tons of plant-based options, and it's never been easier to eat, you know, plant-based than it is now. Okay, so that's why I became plant-based. I hope that kind of helped you guys out a little bit. Am I 100% plant-based? So I still fish, you know, once or twice a week. You know, I live in South Florida, and so we have lots of local fish available to us. And I'll still do eggs once in a while, but it's not something that, you know, really an option for me. So I'm the kind of person that I don't believe in all or nothing. I much rather work in shades of gray and not feel like I can't have certain things. You know, if I'm really craving like steak every once in a blue moon, maybe I'll have a little bit of my husband cooks it. He's not anymore. He gave up on it. Me, like, I'm super committed. You know, I can only control my thoughts. I can't control other people's thoughts. And a lot of people think I can't be plant-based because my family isn't plant-based or all my friends eat meat, so I can't do it. That's all in your head, right? And the only person's thoughts you can control are your own, right? Those are just excuses. But if you're committed, you do it. Right? So I was saying, how to get protein on plant-based. I'm really trying to lose weight and I want to go for, you know, and how do I do it? How can I make it successful for me and something that's long term? Because that's the key, guys, because what we do consistently is who we will become, right? So if you're looking for some help with that, I created this whole training. It's called How to Eat Plant-Based Without Losing Muscle or Gaining Weight. So if you want me to send you that free training, it's totally free. It'll outline everything you comment below. That address you the link and you can get started, watch that on all this extra time we have during social distancing and get yourself some awesome plant-based sources, and I'll share all my favorites with you. But I hope this helped you guys. Have a great Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.